turns even worse is, unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure why, but how making the decision, just like Resolution did, as the Weaver, to think that the fight had just been lost, but he could still go for a pickoff, and that was just the wrong idea. Without his Lincolns, he can't make those kind of plays against a Bat Rider.
And DC, they're looking a hell of a lot better in this game. The question is, can they still find that aggressive timing? The net worth starts to spike up. They're going to get these bigger items coming their way, but can they capitalize on it? Resolution has to go dog form. The Raw's going to come out. Resolution's still insanely tanky, which means he should be able to outrun Hal.
Yeah, he's away. This time around, KP did go for the mech. Obviously, you don't have a mid laner that picks up mechs, so he needs that sustain item, but it also means he wasn't able to make the jump to help them out with that Lycan kill.
And while all this goes on, you've got the rest of DC who are very happy you spaced out. Like that was still a decent committal there from Newbie to go for him. And the rest of DC just continue to farm up.
Yeah, add on to the fact that as long as they don't give up Roshan, Digital Chaos in about 5 minutes time, you just need that Necrobook 3 or get to hit a really big peak where they've got this big level advantage for Weehaw thanks to his Midas. They've got the completed Lycan set with the Necrobook 3 and a Blink Dagger now for Moo. And that's all because he was actually not doing that well as an offlaner, but because that last fight that just happened, he went from picking up drums to immediately having 1,900 gold. And then everything else is just kind of extra. The fact that Misery has a Midas as well and is progressing in his levels and items over time, that's just kind of like the icing on the cake. You never anticipated to be that far ahead with the Riki. And even Saksa has at least Arcane Boots and a Bracelet. So everything should hit really hard for Digital Chaos in 5 minutes time. They should have every advantage they need to be able to take a team fight finally against a Tidehunter and actually be able to win it despite the overall team fight advantage that normally a 5-man Ravage does prevent. DC may still run into that one simply because their pushing is better. But if they don't see an opening, if they don't feel comfortable with 5-manning like that, they can still just play the split push game. They can use the Invoker on one side of the map and have the Lycan on the other and just opt for pickoffs. Because this is just natural, right? The more you push in these side lanes, it forces Newbie to address, which they don't like to do, right? They love to be able to 5-man. They don't want to split up too often. But when they're forced to split up to deal with the side lanes, that's when Bat Rider and even Riki are able to find openings to get Sunstrike kill.